What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video with me, Danny. Back in today we're playing more FIFA 14 Fulham versus Arsenal. So what player are we going to pick today? Berbatov, yes. Okay, so he's had a pretty interesting career. Lol. So yeah, he played for Manchester United and didn't do well. He wasn't the star of the show, I guess. He's he's a very interesting player, actually. Just referring to a match that I seen recently, which was yesterday. At the time of recording this, it's probably been a bit back. They were against Aston Villa at home. So if you want to, whatever, just you might know that date, if you know what I mean. But just like summing up him as a player, I think the penalty that he took was very calm and collected. But there was also kind of a hint of not really caring in his penalty. Fulham obviously were on a 7-week losing streak. So I think going up that calmly for a penalty is either really, really confident, or the fact that he could have been showing that he really didn't care regardless of what happened. It's probably the fact that he was just very calm and collected and didn't want to look nervous on the surface, so the goalkeeper wouldn't, be able to somewhat judge him based on the appearance of his stature and structure, body shape, and all that. But he's still, from what I've seen him play at Manchester United when he returned from a loan spell from another English club. I can't remember which. I can't recall it at the moment, but he came back and he scored a hat trick within a couple of days of returning from his loan spell, and obviously they were all very impressed. But then it took a month or so of not. I don't think he scored too many goals. He didn't score as many as Rooney or anything like that, and he was gone. He was gone to Fulham, and I think a player, I wouldn't say of his experience, because he's not exactly highly rated player. Obviously he's good to watch when he's on form. He's able to score some good goals, but when he's not on form and he's just throwing himself around the pitch, he's just lugging around the pitch, it's quite clear that his lack of respect for the game would be that he's kind of very laid back. And I think maybe that just comes from the fact that he knows his career is coming to an end. Soon enough he's getting pretty old, and that his career will be at its end. But I still think for a player that can score goals that he has scored before in his lifetime for Manchester United and for Fulham, I still think that a player like him should be, really dedicating his footballing to really dedicating himself to the football for the last couple of years. I know he's done it all of his life, but what's the harm in doing it for another 2 or 3 years? I mean, I can't see any harm or any shame in that at all. And I just think that within the next couple of years, I think he could end up the same way as Robbie Keane and David Beckham, joining a team in America, like LA Galaxy or New York Red Bulls, to finish off his career. If that's, I see a lot of English players doing that, or not English players, but players that have played in the Premier League doing that, such as Thierry Henry finishing for New York Red Bulls, and I think it was David Beckham finished for LA Galaxy. But I think that was actually for a personal choice to do with his family moving. But I didn't actually know Stekelenburg was in goal for him. That's interesting. That's like so many international goalkeepers that play for Premier League clubs, like taking Szczesny as the Polish goalkeeper, Stekelenburg as the Netherlands keeper, Burrock again, an international Polish goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, French. Who else is in the Premier League? There is a few actually. Who's Liverpool's goalkeeper? No, he doesn't play anymore. There is a few though. Petr Cech, he plays for the Czech Republic. But there's many international goalkeepers. But back to Berbatov. I can't recall where he's from actually. I think he's Belgian. Not quite sure. I didn't really look it up. I just picked a player at random, like I said at the start of this game, and I don't see him playing for his national club either, which is I wouldn't say surprising, but it's different because there's not many players as old as him that have like kind of experience, if you know what I mean. I know I said he's not exactly the most experienced player in the world, but he does have experience under his belt at, I think he's 30 years old, 30 something years old. Uh, you'd think that maybe someone with his kind of experience level, if you want to call it that, would be picked over players that don't have as high of experience and, you know, calmness on the ball. But that's just that's the manager's decision upon why he doesn't play as often as he does. But I think for the second half we're going to pick a different player because I don't have really much else to talk about on Berbatov. He's not exactly a fan favorite for me. In all fairness, I'm not a. I know I said I like enjoy watching him when he's on form, but other than that, I don't really like him at all. I don't know who we'll pick for the second half. I think we'll pick an Arsenal player now, actually. Sagna, oh my god. What Arsenal player could we talk about? There's always Walcott. Joined Arsenal very young, obviously, but I'll talk more about him in the second half. And then to finish off our Berbatov conversation, I just think that I think it would be best for him after he's finished this season to think about moving to a team in a smaller division, because that way he can finish his career known not just in the Premier League, because that seems where he's mainly stuck. Maybe if he's going to finish it off, he might finish off in England and play for a team lesser known. But my conclusion on Berbatov is that maybe for a price range of around maybe 2 million, 3 million, he should definitely join a team either in America or a lower English team just to finish off his career. Right, so we're on to Walcott now as the second half begins. So Walcott, what is there to talk about Walcott? Well, he joined Arsenal at the age of 16 from Southampton. He was a very talented player, obviously, in his time. He still is a very talented player, scoring a good few goals for Arsenal. His coach, as far as I know, he's been taught and trained by Thierry Henry, the ex-Arsenal goal machine, who influenced our 2005-2006 unbeaten run, if you want to call it that, in that season where Arsenal won the title. He has been, as far as I know, he's been doing a bit of training with Theo Walcott, and you can really see that his not just that his football has improved, but along the lines also of his mental attitude towards the game for Arsenal has changed. He uses his pace in various ways to influence Arsenal's game, not just for scoring, but also for passing and creating chances. He's a very I don't know how you'd put it, but he's a broad player, if you know what I mean. He uses the wings so I think the word would be majestically. He's brilliant. That was a brilliant goal. I think it was Mandzukic, was it? I think it could be Ozil. Who was it? It was Mandzukic. But he uses his pace down the lines against opposition players very elegantly, and he uses his pace obviously as an advantage. Not many defenders can keep up with him because of pace such as him. But I think his pace and his football also influence how well the defenders for Arsenal play, because if you think about it, if they have games against each other in training and stuff like that, and he's using his pace against them, and he's using his strength, and he's shooting, that's going to influence. It's going to influence a couple of players. That was a corner, but he's going to influence the play of defenders and the goalkeeper, because they're really being worked, especially from a player such as Walcott at such a young age, still showing so much potential for the game for Arsenal. He's come on so much. Likewise with Ramsey, but that's probably for another day. But they've all come on so much as from teenagers onto the players that they are now. It wasn't that long ago actually when Arsenal signed him from Southampton, and he was very young and he was very eager to score. And obviously when he got his first goal, Arsenal fans were quite happy, because we weren't waiting months for him to score. It only took a couple of games before Walcott settled in with Arsenal and started to score goals, and it was very interesting to see such a young player fitting in with the Arsenal style the way that he did. But at the time, obviously, Arsene Wenger was starting to invest into younger players because he believed that the youth was the way to go. Now, thankfully, his judgment has somewhat paid off. I mean, this year, players such as Ramsey and like Carl Jenkinson, Gibbs, all these players have stepped up to the mark to make themselves known, and they're playing the way Arsenal usually play, and that's with passing, vision, and just various styles of play, and using the wings, and just basically using every player they can. And at this stage, Arsenal are basically, if you have one player that's missing, you are able to, Arsene Wenger will be able to put in any other player into that position to play, because what Arsenal look like such a gelled team, and it's all about passing. Obviously, at Arsenal, they're like the pass masters. They can complete up to, like, I don't know, I think the most I've seen was 1,000 passes in a game from Arsenal, and that was against Barcelona back in the final in 2006, when we just narrowly lost. There was a couple of like opportunities for Thierry Henry and for Patrick Vieira and Robert Pires, and unfortunately they weren't able to be nicked at the time, and unfortunately Arsenal lost to a Messi goal and a David Villa goal. But players have come on, and it's amazing to see, and I hopefully Arsenal can get that far again this season, because it would be wonderful with such a great team, a new team, a younger team. Arsenal bet Bayern Munich in the Champions League, the only team in the world actually to beat them at the time last year. So it was showing great potential. Just even from that moment, Arsenal were showing great potential, and still are the only team actually to beat them in that competition at the moment. And that's kind of a very respectful title to have, that we're the only team to have beaten them. I mean, it's not. Bayern are a very difficult team to beat. Obviously, they've got the likes of Muller, Mandzukic, Robben. They've got all these top players playing for them, and it is a difficult team to play against. So any team that has the right to say that they've beaten them is a pretty honourable title. And I just hope that Arsenal can go on to do the same thing again. We beat Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League, and we've beaten Napoli as well. I think we've bet Marseille. And it's like these teams aren't. I know they're teams that you don't really look at every day on the TV, and they're not teams that are right up there with the best teams in the world. But they are really good teams, and they're teams that should be highly respected by like fans all over the world, because they are teams that get into the Champions League every year, and it would be difficult to play against teams like that because of, obviously, not playing against them like you would in the Premier League. Say, for just taking Arsenal for example, against, say, the likes of Arsenal came up against Manchester United, it would feel like just a normal game in the Premier League, because if we see it, it could possibly up to 3 times a year, depending on how the cup falls and how the draw for that occurs every year. There could be a freak chance that Arsenal could get a team like that, But then coming up against teams like Marseille, Napoli, just taking like other teams, for example, like Borussia Dortmund, and then I don't know, like just any other round, Galatasaray, even Ajax. These are all they're all good teams, big teams in different countries, and it wouldn't be as easy to play against them because you don't know the way they play. It's a lot different from playing against teams in the Premier League, like I was saying. So I think it makes it all the more difficult, and it's time for the young ones to step up, such as Walcott and all that have been at the club. Ramsey, they're all stepping up, and I think that this year Arsenal can do what we just barely failed to do in 2006, and obviously, hopefully, Arsenal can win the league. I reckon that if we're still top by the end of just after Christmas, Arsenal could go on to win the league, because it wouldn't be something that we'd want to turn around completely and lose, because after so long, I think Arsenal will really want to win it again, because it's been so long, and it would just be brilliant for the fans as well, because we'd be able to say that we have another league title under the belt. But that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a brilliant talk. I actually really enjoyed it, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section on what you think.